Since I've been working with StreetLib and working with authors for over 30 years, I have come to understand that there is real confusion over the differing roles between an author, a publisher, a distributor, and a retailer. And I want to sort that all out for you today. It gets even a little bit more complicated when you have an author who is also the publisher, AKA a self-published author. But I think I'm going to sort that all out right now. So if you think about it as a supply chain between the author all the way to the reader, the author is the absolute creator of the written work. They're the ones who conceive, write, and prepare the manuscript for publication. They may get help from editors and designers along the way, but the author is the owner of the content. So their key activities is they're going to write the book, they'll revise it and edit it, and they'll work with an editor to perfect it. And their goal is to create the story and ultimately to sell it. Okay. So a publisher is a company that's going to take that finished manuscript and turn it into a book. And they do all the things that publishers do. They may also work with an editor, a book designer, and a cover designer, as well as a printer and a fulfillment house to get that book put together. If you are a self-published author, you are doing the role of both the author and the publisher. So the main thing that a publisher has to do is select and choose the manuscripts and provide editorial feedback and guidance. A publisher generally has a point of view, but they don't write the books themselves. They work with authors who share their editorial point of view or worldview, or create products that publishing company is the operative word, it's a business, can sell. So their goal is to produce something that is commercially viable, that reach readers and ultimately generate a profit. So you can see there's a little bit of a difference here. An author might be creating something that is for art or personal fulfillment, or is the book of, it's the book of their heart. It may or may not need to be commercially viable. When you put on that publisher hat, we're talking about running a business now. So when you're running a business, you're going to be producing a commercially viable work. Author, publisher, put together. Now, where does a distributor come in? Like StreetLib, we are a distributor. A distributor really does the logistics for getting the book to the market. So in the case of a self-published author, you would have particular difficulty having relationships or any kind of meaningful connection between a lot of the retailers. Consider that there are 4,000 books published every single day, and the retailers such as Apple, Kobo, Barnes and Noble, Books A Million, Amazon don't have people or the capacity to deal with that many authors. Instead, they prefer to deal with a fulfillment house or a wholesaler who can pull all the books together and distribute them to each of these places. And that's what StreetLib does. So the goal for us then is to most efficiently and cost effectively get books from the publishers, and in your case, author publishers, to the retailers. Okay. Now, you're asking, like, what about Amazon? Because Amazon is both a retailer and a fulfillment center. For instance, you as an author, yes, you can get directly to Amazon. You can upload your book directly. So that makes it a little bit confusing. It's an instance where it's fulfilling both of those roles. So in general, though, book retailers are businesses that sell books directly to the readers, to the consumer. And in this category, I'm also going to include libraries and library markets. So anyone who sells a book to a reader, and whether that is a ebook, audio, or print on demand, a print book, the retailer gets it in the consumer's hand and ultimately takes the money from the consumer. So their goal is to curate the selection of books that they sell to their readers. For instance, Barnes & Noble likes a family-friendly selection of books, whereas Overdrive curates books for library collections, and reading apps like Dreamy prefer mature audience, steamy romance books to deliver to its readers that love that. So the goal of the retailer is to sell the books to readers and generate the revenue. I hope that's all making more sense to you. So you're an author or publisher, you're creating the work, you're preparing it for sale, you're making it commercially viable. You work with a distributor like StreetLib, where you can upload it once, just one time. We track all of your sales. We maintain the relationships with all of our retailers. And then we also help you understand, or if there's any conflict or problems with the retail between you and them, we can resolve that for you. For that, we collect a small percentage of the revenue, but we also collect all the payments and make sure you get paid every month. So if you have any questions about that, please ask them in the comments below and I will answer that. But I hope this cleared up exactly what each person in the chain does.